In-depth analysis on national current affairs. Freshly
Okay.
pressed on Smooth
Ugo, please help me raise your
98.1.
mic. Thank you. Mics are up. Studio is live. Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to Smooth 98.1. If you've been tuned in since 6 a.m., God bless you. Thank you very much for joining us on Smooth 98.1, Smooth Breakfast with me, Valentine Ohu. It is time for us to go into detailed analysis of our newspaper stories this morning inside of freshly pressed 981. And I have my people in the studio. We have Ugo Dre at Ugodre on Twitter. Good morning, Ugo.
Yes, sir. I'm your person.
Yes, you're my personal person. Welcome. And we have Funmi Odude at Funmi Odude.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First
Good to
time I'm
see
seeing
again.
you today as a married man.
Ah, true. That's true. It reminded me of something. Adenike, good morning.
Come Mario.
Morning, oh.
Hello.
How you doing, oh?
I'm fine, no.
All right, so we have stories to go through. Please send messages to WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. And that's 0809 444 0981. On Twitter, we're at Smooth981FM. The hashtag is freshly pressed 981. Okay, let's start with you, Ugo. Representatives suspend Buhari's 22.79 billion naira loan consideration, and they did not give a date for it to be reconsidered. Your thoughts, please.
That was a quick question. All right, Val. So we all know what's happening in the world today. The government had put forward this $22.7 billion loan that he was, hoping was going to use to finance infrastructure development projects in the country, and 17 billion, dollars of that loan, by the way, was going to come from China. Right, it wasn't come from China Exim Bank, which I'm very sure the United States doesn't like at all. Right. So, but the House has decided to step down on it for now. They are assessing the situation in the global markets, especially dropping oil prices, the impact of COVID-19. So even though the Senate had already given their own go on this. But the House has decided to just hold on, and they didn't tell us when or what they're going to do. But we face an even larger threat, and even larger threat is that oil prices are falling badly. Our external reserves is under pressure, so Nigeria actually needs a considerable amount of forex. Now, these are loans, and we have to pay this one at some point in time. So we're basically borrowing money for money that our children will end up paying. And when you borrow money from the Chinese, my brother, it's not free money, So it means that you're going to see a lot more Chinese related projects in this country, be it rail, be it roads, healthcare, wherever it is that they want to spend this money in. That's Chinese that are going to be doing this. So I think that they'll get back to this at some point. The government is really committed to doing this. So if you're one of those who don't want all these foreign loans, sorry, this is gonna happen. Whether it's the full 22 billion they go, I don't know, but it's definitely gonna happen. It's just a matter of time.
Ugo, please, let's look at this oil price slump in a from a different perspective. Just imagine that Nigeria wasn't highly dependent on crude for its funds, for its revenue. And we're dependent on other things, and we're buying crude or buying processed crude from other countries in terms of products, PMS and all. How would this have affected us? Would it have been more positive than negative?
Well, we're experiencing it already. So it's just that fuel prices are not market driven. They're fixed.
Okay.
Otherwise, you would have seen fuel prices crash, because right now oil prices are pretty low, but yet we're still in fact we're paying more for fuel now than we should be paying.
How does that work?
Because it's much cheaper, because oil prices are much cheaper, so the crude oil imports are cheaper, so government is not going to subsidize it at all. From what I'm hearing, I think it's about 118 or 120 naira per liter now. So that is what we would have been experiencing. But would we have maybe escaped an economic crisis? I doubt it. South Africa today is still they're actually in a recession, and they're not an oil dependent country. Their economy is even a lot more diversified than ours, but they still have their challenges. So, but these are challenges that you have with third world countries, where you don't really dictate, what happens to the global economy. You're just one of the players in there. So whether we like it or not, for a country of 200 million people, GDP of 500 billion or so plus, are we still at $500 billion? Anyway, I think 120 trillion or thereabout in GDP. External reserves are 30 billion. Extremely poor. Extremely poor. So we do need some kind of capital. The only problem is, will they spend this money on the project they said they will spend it on?
That's a good question. Anyway, I don't want to be distracted with some of the stories we treated yesterday, because they're quite related in terms of dipping hands into the national treasury and money that should have been kept for other things. But let's move on to discuss this health-related issue for me. Premium Times reports the Lassa fever. On the Lassa fever, the progress, because seem to be now relegating that. Interestingly, Lassa fever has a higher fatality rate than coronavirus.
Yep.
Right. Now, Lassa fever is a Nigeria's death toll reaches 144. By the last tally, it was 132 by last week. So in a week, we had 12 deaths. That's got to be very scary.
Yep.
Your thoughts, please.
So I along with a lot of people applaud the way we dealt with the coronavirus disease, the playbook that we had that we just had to implement, and all of that. It's very reassuring. And but we're wondering, how come we don't have a playbook with respect to this kind of disease, and why are we not putting anything forward? There's even not so much information about it like we've had with coronavirus. I mean, just driving down this morning, you see the signboards, what you should do, wash your hands, if you have a fever, if you have all of that. We don't see that kind of engagement with respect to Lassa fever, which, as you have pointed out, even has a higher fertility rate, and we're losing people to it. So I can understand the frenzy behind the coronavirus disease, quite understandable, but there's no reason why we can't replicate something similar. Let's even start with sharing information. Let's start with we know we know that the root of it is rats.
Yes.
We know it's passed from human to human, from the rodent to human, through their urine, through their secretions. But are we really engaging people as much as we should with respect to it? Are we telling them, when you see the signs, these are the symptoms to look out for? When you see those symptoms, these are the steps that you should take. This is what we should do. So I think that the same level of engagement that we've had with the coronavirus, there's no reason why we cannot replicate it, or at least something similar, barring the uniqueness of the Lassa fever. But there's no reason why we can't replicate that with respect to the Lassa fever. We don't have to wait for a disease that is brought from outside the shores, when we have one that is killing us within the country.
Yes.
So it's all about taking the precautions. There are preventable deaths if we take the necessary precautions, if we do the right things. So I think that level of engagement needs to go out. But I haven't also said that there's also the role of the individual citizen, about educating yourself, about keeping a clean environment. Half of these things also have to do with personal hygiene and personal health.
Yes.
So there's also that aspect of it. But in respect of the government, there's no reason why we can't have the same level of engagement we've had with respect to the virus to this.
All right. Thank you. Funmi was referring to how we've dealt with it so far, not like we've dealt with it on a final note. So, Uncle, writing
exactly.
about me, please.
Yeah, I was going to just hurriedly consume James to say.
No.
I think the case on that seat. I'm kind of jealous.
I am on your seat. And he said that. Did I just hear from me say they dealt with coronavirus?
So
have you
far
looked at other countries that have way better than we do, and what we've done in Nigeria?
in terms of technology, right?
I mean, coronavirus is on the lips of everybody. There's a joke: wash your hand, don't come near me. you.
Mhm.
Use that hand sanitizer.
You
But
know,
you don't
that-
get that with Lassa fever.
But that's how information should be spread.
Exactly.
Right. Talking about Lassa fever, we know it's spread. One the major vector is a multi-mammoth rat. I was looking up the definition, but I know from my own knowledge is rats that has plenty children to feed.
Oh,
Right.
Oh.
So
Has many breasts.
thank you. It has many breasts, and they are neighbors, and we see them around. Fortunately, rainy season has set in. We know it's more prevalent during the dry season. So hopefully it drops. But it's good to know the symptoms so you can report yourself or your ward to the health facility within 21 days of contacting it. Now, symptoms included in early stage. Similar to that of the febrile illness, headache, sore throat, general body weakness,
Just
cough,
go to hospital.
nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. If any of these plus more, if you feel them, please report to a doctor. Don't just say it's normal headache.
Yeah.
It's not normal.
Yep.
And stop self-medicating.
That's right.
Just,
Okpeyemi Pray says we've always shown high respect for anything foreign. That's exactly what's playing out in the case of coronavirus and Lassa fever. So what you don't know scares you the most, right? Patrick from Aja says, good morning, guys. When an individual runs into financial problems, one of the steps for survival is to cut unnecessary spending. Now our
Yep.
government keeps borrowing and their spending and lifestyles remain the same.
Yep.
Does this even make sense? Recurrent expenditure is too much. Patrick from Aja, in one of the stories we're about to look at, you'd see where the house, it was even complained that the federal government is owing them money. But let's go on. Policemen or soldiers operating Okada will be arrested. That's what the Lagos state government has revealed. They said the alternatives that will be provided to cushion the effects of the ban and restriction on motorcycles and tricycles in the state will be released in April. But for now, if you're not wearing any uniform, if you're not a uniformed officer, you shouldn't be driving Okada. But your thoughts?
Okay, so the Commissioner for Information and Strategy in the state, being our motor show, said that there will be different sizes of buses and different capacities come April, because their aim is to, as we already know, just cushion the effect of the ban. But he said that they are more concerned about the enforcement of the restriction order, and they are certain that there will be more force to completely keep Okadas and tricycles away from the restricted routes. So he assured the Lagosians or people living in Lagos that there have been a security meeting and these some of the resolutions that were made. Now, let me quote him. He said, only a uniformed man who is fully kitted and who rides a motorcycle as his own personal mode of transport is allowed. If any uniformed man ventures into commercial motorcycle operation or keke, the action of such a person is illegal, and such persons are going to be arrested if they are caught. So my question to him is, caught by who? Who is going to do the arrest? LASMA.
Who bailed the cat?
LASMA.
Or fellow police.
And police, and or if military man or let me continue.
Yes,
He
please.
said the state government would in April assuage the pain, like I mentioned. He says they're also using the opportunity to inform Lagosians that the palliatives promised by the government will be coming soon. So my question is, how do you ascertain that a passenger on my motorcycle, if I'm fully kitted in my uniform, is not a familiar person, is not a neighbor, is not a younger
Cannot
brother,
give
is not-
right.
So it means, strictly speaking, that we have to understand how they want to determine who carries these people for commercial purposes. Because merely seeing me with a passenger does not connote that I'm doing it for money.
Yeah, but
What if the person is my neighbor?
no, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't.
You shouldn't give
You shouldn't
rights.
even give rights.
I feel like
But I
that is.
have-
I feel
honestly,
like that
I
is
have
ludicrous
another-
and on.
No,
I
no,
have-
so but the thing about it is it's clear, right? There are specifications. First of all, the ban on motorcycles has a capacity limit,
Yes.
right? Over 200 cc. So
Yeah.
you can actually be riding an over 200 cc's motorcycle and you have a passenger.
Yes.
That's okay. But if it's under 200 cc's, which is what the ban covers, you must be a uniform
Well, you know
officer.
So
that-
that even complicates it, because now if you are saying the capacity of the motorcycle is what should determine whether or not
but-
me who has given someone a ride should be stopped, I think that is not extensive. And I've seen military guys, military guys with passengers. And I remember checking just 2 days ago the number plate, if it was commercial or it was private. It was private. So my question was, so how do I know this person is this man on his motorcycle is not his name? And I usually give him a ride every single
So
day.
I think the exception they want to make here should be clarified.
Simple.
Is it that personal Okadas are allowed for uniformed officers and not allowed for the general populace?
Because they are
Personal,
moving from
not
point to point.
commercial.
Personal.
Because what the man has said now, if a uniform officer that is fully kitted who rides the motorcycle as his own personal mode of transport. Now, are you saying that the regular Lagosian that is not a police officer or a police officer in his mufti
Shouldn't
cannot ride his
Yes.
personal Okada?
Yes.
And so when we begin to make these distinctions, is the uniform officer, do we care whether he's riding it for official duties or he's just exempt?
I thought that this ban was for commercial riders though, because I know that people who do dispatch are allowed to still ride their
Yes.
buses.
So there are
So
there are
a lot
still
of these
things like that.
millions
Options.
are because of abuse.
Mm.
Because of abuse, we find out even when we see people who use their private vehicles for commercial purposes.
Right.
And the reality is, how do you protect the people who are standing by the roadside for their safety? So, like Funmi mentioned, I feel like it is insufficient for you to just blatantly put out there that if you are fully kitted, if I'm going for one bear and I know that if I wear my uniform, I will get to my destination safe, I would abuse it.
But the specifics, show that the ban is on commercial motorcycles. It's for commercial use.
If
And
it's that,
tricycles.
then you
No.
won't give an
Private
exception of a
owners
uniform.
Still use this thing to carry passengers and still charge them
For me,
money.
if you are going to hail a bike, will you hail a bike with a uniformed officer on it?
What if I hail a bike? What if I have a neighbor who has a connection with me and everything? You're saying that people don't give their neighbors right. People have private arrangements now every single time.
But the truth is, however I will argue it, the law is the law. If you
The law
flout
is
it, you'll
not
be arrested.
unclear in this regard.
That is my
It should be made
point.
clear.
It
The
is
law
unclear.
unclear.
All right, we need to move on. We'll see clarity. Let's go to the story, Ugo. CBN considering forex restriction for importation of hand sanitizers. MFLA. It played out like a dramatic situation on the floor of the House. One lady actually spoke up, and I found her comments very interesting. She was really surprised to see Chinese-made China products in the house. Not China products like they're fake or anything, but the fact that hand sanitizers imported, made from China, were being used by the CBN.
Like the camera is. Anyway,
Business
it was-
interest conversation.
it was a very, very interesting scene yesterday at the CBN auditorium. So while everybody was all, made in Nigeria, and then Stella Okoli,
Yeah, that's
the
her
founder
name.
of EMSO,
Aha.
she stands up and she gives a very, very dispassionate speech. I have several hand sanitizers in my store.
People did
The
not
ones
buy.
that we made during the Ebola scare.
Yes.
It's still there.
Mm.
And then she comes to the CBN where they have banned all sorts of stuff, and they're using Chinese
Hand
sanitizers.
sanitizers.
How painful.
Mhm.
I mean, if it was you, wouldn't you be angry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was very, very angry. Wow. Maybe if it was you don't like it, would you?
I mean,
I'm
for-
angry on
I don't
her
like
behalf.
it. I mean, even now, I'm really, really, really upset. I mean, like, how can you ban Chinese hand sanitizer when you have EMSO hand sanitizer? Anyway, but that was what happened, and she was very, very upset. And then the CBN governor did apologize. He stood up and then apologized profusely and said that he didn't know that they were using Chinese hand sanitizer. I'm like, really, he did not know.
It's not his job.
So he didn't know, and he said that he would stop it. And now, but whether they will now extend the ban, whether they will add it to the 41 or 43 or 44, we don't know what
Items,
number
yeah.
right now.
So is it a
Items.
temporary ban? Are they mooting this to be a temporary ban or a permanent one?
All bans are temporary until you leave them.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Until
the
further
bans
notice.
they always leave ban. Whether it's 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. I don't think there's any
Actually.
indefinite ban like that.
Actually.
So, but for those that are out there listening, he hasn't banned. Nobody has banned hand sanitizers. All he said is that at the CBN they will start using locally made
produced.
hand sanitizers. Just like we said on Business Express, Fashola also mentioned Ugodre. Why are you not drinking Ugodre? Why are you drinking all
So the
Ugodre?
drinking part is something I'm not encouraged.
You can refine it and use it
Because
for a lot more
because we
things.
know it has a high percentage. Typical hand sanitizers, the most effective ones have up to 90% alcohol base, but you shouldn't be.
Valentine, how many of the blood alcohol that people drink? Don't let me say people drink are honestly original.
Let's not go into that.
But the thing is that
That's what I'm trying to
you see, a lot of those things are well
Well,
distilled. But you see, the narrative, especially from yesterday, is that this is pushing for locally made stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dangote as well chimed in yesterday and was
Mhm.
quite clear. He said, "Look, we can't keep importing. I think import bill last year was $47 billion.
$47.
He's correct.
Yes.
We really can't keep importing. I mean, we
Mhm.
import a whole lot of stuff in this country. It's just incredible,
Mm.
considering the kind of population that we have.
Yes.
But then it's the government as well create an environment where foreign investors can come in and set up manufacturing hubs here.
Mm.
So, but if you continue the way you're going, there are people benefiting from this craziness in this country, and let's not deny that fact.
Mm.
So until you sort things like that out, this will continue. And a lot of those people were in that auditorium yesterday.
All right. So the mooted ban is actually ban on forex. That's foreign currency, dollar or whatever how currency used to buy for those products.
Yeah,
Not
so
necessarily the
you
products
not
themselves.
ban on the product itself. So
Yeah.
you just can access forex to
Funds,
import
yeah.
those products. That's the only ban. That's the ban.
That's
Yeah, kind of cool.
I like that word. Chika Agina from Marina says, as part of measures to curb the coronavirus, the National Assembly have distributed imported hand sanitizers to every office at the affordable cost of. Is this true? Please, Chika, don't spread fake news. Henry says, good morning, anchors. Thank you. Do you think the Kano State government? Nah, not yet. Emeka says, ordinary hand sanitizer, pharmacists, even in teaching hospitals, can make them in large quantities. That's true. So that forest restriction is unnecessary. It is necessary, Tayo. And there's Emeka. Tayo says these guys pull up to bus stops and yell out destinations and people enter. I was talking about military personnel with Okada. They said, now for promoting made in Nigeria. Say one thing, do not let the poor suffer. What's your name? Add your names to your messages, please. JFK says it is discriminating if a uniformed officer can ride their bikes while on uniform, while regular citizens can't. This government can. Okay. No, it's not. For specific reasons, security being the paramount. That's really one of those things, please. Deepo says, why are uniformed officers exempt? Are they above the law? No, they are the custodians of it. Yinka says, at Adenike en route to Yaba, the light turned red, so we stopped as normal citizens, only for a downfall to run red light. And there was a last man guy standing there, only for a private car, angrily breaking the red light or beating the red light, and last man dude jumped in front of him. So I came down to ask him, Oga, why arrest this man when you let the downfall driver pass? He responded, bros, our guys, you know where they go. Okay. So in Lagos, to be normal is a crime now. Is that people who arrest soldiers on bikes? Story. Very interesting.
Can't blame the last man guy.
The on a mission. It was a mission targeted at Sambisa Forest. They said some newspapers said it sprayed bombs, and who said it rained bombs. Well, they bombed the Sambisa Forest, killing scores of people. They recorded this as a victory, on Boko Haram. But your thoughts, Funmi?
Well, I like that they recorded it as a victory, like it's not a victory. Like they recorded it as a victory. Yeah. So I mean, anytime we hear they have attacked the sport, we have killed some terrorists. I mean, it's good news. It's great news. But I only have a question. So this thing has been on for a while, and we know the impact with respect to our resources and with respect to that region. How much is it affected that region? The only thing I wonder about is if there's a plan. Like, is it just we keep trying? Today, when we know of this place, we'll go there and bomb it, and then we'll keep trying, or do we or is there a sustained, like if we sustain this attacks up to a point, the plan is by this period of time. And I know that at the beginning of the first term of this administration, they were very optimistic about putting out dates. By so date, we would have completely date. That stopped very early on. But I think it's a conversation that also needs to be had. Is there still a plan that if we sustain attacks, if this is the game plan, so by so date, this is what we're looking at. We would have completely raided all the terrorist hideouts. We would have completely. That's the only question I have. Like, is there those because we couldn't meet the first set of timelines that were given by the administration? Is that why we've completely now decided that no more timelines? We're doing this by basis of when we see a hideout. If we succeed today, the attack was back, counter-attack. No, we can't let that. So do we still have the plan of complete eradication, and do we have a sustained plan towards that? Not just, we're fighting, we're still fighting.
All right. Thank you, Funmi. Good perspective. Daily Times report that on COVID-19, here's another update, that the family or the persons who had contact with the index patients aboard the Turkish airline flight to Lagos have been found, because there are reports before now were sent out to the public that everybody that can track them, please report. But this is cheering news coming from the Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi. What are your thoughts, Adenike?
Okay, so first, Professor Akin Abayomi and his team, I'm hoping in next time when they want the public to help identify individuals, would also add pictures.
Yeah.
Because I actually did put that, and I know I got a number of comments saying, where are the pictures? In developed climes, one of the fastest ways, without even knowing names, is pictures. So except
I know that face.
Yes, people know the face more than the pictures.
Yeah, but
so we're not disputing, especially because they claim they have not avenues to reach them have gotten. So it means that except the individuals can prove that the government has lied, what we have to deal with is the fact that the government has made efforts to reach them. They are the ones that are invading.
Okay, so when it gets to that case, I can understand.
Exactly.
But for the initial allusion, I feel like you have to apply some empathy
to
it.
The ones that take things too personally, because we discriminate unnecessarily.
Okay.
So it was necessary to state that, and he has thanked social media, has checked the Lagos people.
He thanked social
media?
Yes,
he did. He actually did thank social media. He thanks social media because in under 24 hours going public, the individuals have been found. So he also stated that the index case, we still don't know the man's name in Italian. So I'm wondering,
what do you want to use his name to?
We need to, if you're disclosing the names of the Nigerians,
because they needed to be found. Not because I mean, the people that they found easily, I'm not sure they disclosed.
Because the other family that is in isolation, they just disclosed to us that the family of 4.
Yes.
So Funmi is actually right.
Yes.
Yeah. So he also mentioned that family of 4 with a teacher from the US and another man from the United Kingdom have also been placed under isolation, and they're going to run some tests on them again. He also mentioned that 3 persons from France, England, and China were placed on isolation and have tested negative. And also said that as it stands, there are only 2 persons with confirmed cases of Wuhan 19. We're shouting Ebola. I was just screaming, yes, it's not a COVID-19 or COVID. It's Wuhan. It originated from a particular place. So I choose to use Wuhan. Thank you very much. So
what if they called it Lagos 19? Hello,
my brother. Believe me, it's my point. So we must of a necessity applaud the Lagos state government and the Nigerian government health ministry for this team. A friend did an article and visited this quarantine place, and the doctors working in them, they have actually put up systems in place to ensure that it doesn't spread.
All right, we're almost out of time, but please touch on this story from the Guardian newspaper. Akwa Ibom Justice Commissioner seeks resignation and prosecution of the CPs. Allegations are quite damning, but what are your thoughts?
Yes, they are. So, according to the Attorney General, the court had ordered the remand of a suspect, and the CP, well, the suspect needed medical attention, and afterwards it was supposed to be taken to the correctional facility. But the CP ordered his team to bring him back to the police headquarters, according to him, and apologized to the suspect, handed him back his phones, and released them. They are very, very serious allegations. We can't get to a place where it's a free for all in this country, where court orders are just treated anyhow, and one person. So it's not about protecting an individual; it's about protecting our system and our process and our institutions.
Yes.
So it's something that shouldn't be swept under the carpet. It's fortunately, it's not even a private citizen that is complaining now. This is a government official to another government official. One thing we are not very good at in this country is realizing the limits of our powers. So the police has the limit of their powers. They investigate, they arrest. Usually when they now transfer the case to the Ministry of Justice for prosecution and then charged to court, that's the limit of the police powers. When it leaves their hands, and when it gets to that place, you don't now come to exercise powers over it. So government officials need to learn where the limits of their power.
What could happen to the Commissioner of Police if he's found of these allegations?
Something can. country.
No.
Well, police has this thing they
Design
do
shawarma.
that they call oddly room trial. They have their own internal disciplinary process. That ought to take place.
Thank you. And that's as much as we can take on the analysis for the stories. But well, to go back to YouTube, if you missed the analysis, go watch on youtube.com/Smooth91 FM Lagos. While you're at it, subscribe. And special thanks to Adenike Oyetunde at Funmi Odude and Ugo Dre. Next, we talk entertainment inside of the grapevine. Good morning.
Access to
Thank you.
All price, all
Hey,
price
what's
crash.
that?
Wait, should they stop your video recording? Come up here again.
Man, you guys are amazing. Thanks
Thanks
a
very
bunch.
much. Why I asked that thing about the name is because everybody keeps putting out, why don't we know the names of the Nigerians? And in my mind, I'm wondering, they are not lost.
You victimize them. It's
I
when
know.
it's when they are purposely evading,
Yeah.
reporting themselves or avoiding it.